What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have something a little bit different. A couple months ago, I think at this point, maybe it was like around 1 month ago, I posted on my story for you guys to ask me questions. And so this is gonna be like a Q&A style kind of video, kind of like a podcast in a way, except it's just a video. I'm not uploading it anywhere else but here. But it's like gonna be like the same kind of format, because I eventually do want to start a podcast, but I didn't get into all that just yet. And I thought, what can I do right now? And what I can do right now is set up my camera and talk and answer questions. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But yeah, little life update. I've been not running as much because my foot has been starting to hurt. Not my foot, but like kind of like in my shin area. And I don't want to get a little carried away. So I'm just trying to focus on dropping a couple pounds, keeping my diet good, and staying consistent in the gym because that's all I can do right now. So, first question is kind of bouncing off of that. It comes from Bryson, and he asks, next goal after you run a marathon. All right, that's a great question because I'm gonna be honest, I do not have like a straightforward answer. But for those of you who are watching and don't know, I signed up for a marathon September 27th, Boulder, Colorado, Boulderthon. It's a huge marathon, and I thought, dang, what better way than to do my first marathon in a completely different state, travel, have fun. I'm doing it with my friend Evan. We're both gonna either fly or drive down. We don't know yet. But yeah, I just did a half marathon, I think 3-4 weeks ago in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and it was super fun. Did pretty good. I ran a 1:37, I think, around 1:37, and it was so much fun. And I was just like, dang, like I'm gonna have to do that, but do another one, like it's because it's half, and yeah, you guys get the point. But that's such a great question because I think a lot of where your goals are is like kind of where your action is. And since I do have like that goal ahead of me of running the marathon, like my actions are now pushing myself towards achieving that goal. So what am I doing right now is my actions are prioritizing running, prioritizing my overall like health in general. And so it's just like when you're running after something for so long, it's like, how do you shift when that thing is gone? So it's like, dang, just like thinking that the marathon's in September. Right now it's June, so you have July, August, September. So you have three months, basically four, because it's towards like the end of September. But it's just like I'm gonna be utilizing those 3.5 months of just moving towards this one thing. So it's like, okay, now that passed, what is there to move toward, And some people could say, Jason, what about an Ironman? Dude, that's kind of crazy. Like, but it's also like, why not at the same time? But if I'm being like completely honest, my straightforward answer for right now, my plans after I run the marathon would probably just to keep like prioritizing my health and kind of see where that takes me. Because by the time I run the marathon, I want to drop down around 10 to 15 pounds. I'm currently around 187. And for the marathon, I want to at least be at like a 170 to 175. So kind of what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to drop some weight right now. That way, when I start picking up my miles again, I'm kind of in like a little bit more better running shape, I guess. Not like running shape as in terms of like agility and speed, but in terms of like overall just like weight in general. So hopefully by the time I do run the marathon, I'd be around 170, 175. And from there, depending on how I plan my diet, I'd either still have some muscle retained, or maybe I'd lose a little bit of muscle in the process. But the goal is to not lose muscle in the process. So you gotta keep your protein intake high. You want to still be lifting weights, or else that muscle is gonna kind of vanish if you just focus on strictly just running miles. And that's kind of not what I want to do. So overall, to answer your question, sorry, I kind of rambled for a little bit. Overall, to answer your question, I think the best thing for me would to kind of coast from there. This is not a good answer at all because I really don't know. Because it's just like, would it just be like another marathon? Because like I haven't made up my mind because I'm just so focused on the marathon. But probably just to do something else that's gonna push me and like give myself like something to move towards because I know it's gonna challenge me. and that could be like an ultra marathon as well. Because I don't know. I hear people talk about ultra marathons, but I don't know how long it is. Is it like a 33 miles? I think 36. I don't know, but probably just do something that's even like more extreme than a marathon. So whether that be a triathlon, I think something like that would be awesome. Or like a high rocks. I really want to do a high rocks. So probably just something else that's gonna push me to keep me motivated and keep me disciplined, because I really believe if you don't have something you're moving towards, then there's something moving towards you and you're running away from it. I don't even know if that made any sense, but yeah, that's just kind of how I take that question. Um, Next question comes from Emmett Scott, bro. Shout out Emmett. He's been killing it on the content. He's literally just like, he's grown so much. And I think it's just awesome to see, because he's grown his page to like over 10,000 followers on Instagram. Um, and he's only been posting for like 4 or 5 months. So I just think it's crazy, and he's doing a hell of a job. And on TikTok too. He's just like, all of his videos are so engaging. He knows how to write hooks and just tell stories, and that's so important in content creation. He does it so well. So shout out to you, Emmett, bro. You're literally killing it, and I love to see your videos. But he asks, what inspired you to get into making content, or who? And dang, that's a great question, because I've been making videos. Like, if you think about just like me posting myself online, I've been doing that since I was like 12 years old, which is just so crazy to think that I've been doing it for almost 10 years now, which is so crazy. Like, doing this thing for 10 years, and it's not even like my full-time job or career or anything. But I'm not saying that in like a way to like stay unmotivated, where it's like, gosh, I've been doing this for 10 years and still haven't like blown up or did this or did that. But it's like, also, it's just not the point. It's just because I enjoy doing this. Um, I'm sure this is the right way. But it was honestly these couple of YouTubers, Tanner Brongart, Jake Paul, and most importantly, Balin Levine. Those three, I watched them every single day that I could. Jake Paul, I was a Jake Pauler. It was every day, bro, and I would show up every single day because I wanted to do daily vlogs just like how he was. And Tanner Brongart, he was really big on like the trampoline park videos. I would go to the trampoline park, make videos with my friends. I was never good. I can't even do a backflip still. And in his videos, he's doing like triple backflips, all this stuff. But like the idea, just like watching people just be themselves with their friends and just having so much fun doing what they were doing, I just wanted that for myself. And I just looked up to all of them, because all three of them, when they first started, they would just do stuff with their friends and just do crazy stuff. And they were just being themselves. And I was like, gosh, like, I want people to look up to me the same way that I looked up to them in a way. And then kind of as I got older, just the biggest motivator was just Balin Levine. I would watch his videos every single time he posted. And it was just that same feeling. Like, it never left me. Like, when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, all the way up to when I'm 18, 19, 20, about to turn 21, like the same feeling never goes away when I watch those videos. Because Balin Levine, he's kind of shifted, and he's making more like daily video vlog content, and like, it's like, gosh, I want to do that too. And it's like, that's the thing, you can, like, anyone out there, like, if you say, gosh, I want to do that, like, it's just, you can. And I think the biggest thing that just holds me back is just, part of me maybe doesn't think that I can, or I get maybe cringed out, and I just like, I have like these big goals where it's like, gosh, it'd be so fun to like vlog myself every day and edit a video and post it like once a week. And it's like, you say that, but it's like, you can do it though. Like, Jason, like, I'm talking to myself, but it's like, Jason, you can do that exact thing, but you just don't. And yeah, I just think they were just big inspirations to me, watching all their videos. And I'm trying to think if there's any other YouTubers that I would watch that just kind of like inspired me to make videos. Nah, dang, none that I can think of right now, but definitely Tanner Brongart, Jake Paul, Balin Levine. Those are like my most watched channels. So yeah, just like watching them, wanted to be like them, looked up to them, and kind of wanted people to look up to me in the same way. Next question comes from my cousin, actually, Brock, and he asked me, how do you stay positive in hard situations? And that's a loaded question. I like it. Staying positive in hard situations. I think for me, it ultimately comes down to whether you're religious or not, to anyone who's watching the video. But it just comes down to like your relationship with God, because in the end of the day, the only really like things that are so hard, like you can have nothing going right, but I feel like as like the only thing that you really can do is just turn to God and just pray and just go to church and worship, because you also got to realize that you can't change anything in hard situations. Like if things are hard, staying positive is obviously difficult. It's not easy. It's not like you can just tell yourself, dude, just pick up your head, kid. Like, no, there's so much more that goes on to staying positive. And first, yeah, first answer to the question is obviously just having a relationship with God and just um, turning to Him in prayer when things are obviously tough. And then the second thing is this analogy of filling your buckets, because in life we all have so many buckets. We got like a job bucket, a friend bucket, a social bucket, a career. I don't know if I said job, but career bucket, family bucket, and it requires you to pour into all these buckets. And I think sometimes when life gets hard, we tend to kind of disregard our buckets because we just have less water to pour out, if that makes sense. Like when things get tough for me, maybe I'm less likely to pour into my gym bucket or pour into my family bucket or like my relational bucket, because I maybe just don't have all that much to pour out. And I think just concentrating on those buckets, I think, is so important, especially when you're trying to stay positive, because when those buckets aren't getting filled, there's nothing around you that's fulfilling you like back, because you're not pouring in to those things. So it's just finding stuff that you can pour into, I think overall allows as like a byproduct for things to kind of pour back into you. And I think that really helps when things are hard, because not only are you able to show up for other people, but people can also show up for you. And I think that's just such a beauty of like the bucket analogy, because I think it's so true. And for me, it's always been my gym bucket. That's been like the biggest bucket that I always try and pour into, because there's times where there's nothing I can control, but I know I can control my day-to-day action, and I know I can show up for myself when everything around me isn't showing up for me. And I know I kind of flipped it to what I just said earlier. It's kind of like counterproductive. I don't know. They kind of clash with what I just said, but it's just finding that thing that it's just no matter what goes on, I can still accomplish that one thing. And kind of said, as I said earlier, it's the gym and running and making videos. Because when things are hard, and I need to stay positive, I can't control like, I don't know, how am I trying to word this? Like, it's like control the controllables. I can't control the things that are going on that are affecting me, but I can control how I respond and what I'm going to do about it. Because you can either sit at home, do nothing about it, and just let all those things that are making life hard kind of chew you up and chew you alive, or you can control what you're going to do. I can control myself going to the gym, going on a walk, getting outside. And when I do those things and I pour into that, like that gym bucket or fitness bucket, I feel a lot more like relief. So it's just finding those things that bring you relief. For some people, it's playing music. Kind of random shot in the dark, but I felt like when I used to have a good electric guitar. Whenever I'd play, I feel like it was just like a not like a coping thing, but like an outlet. Like you just need to have an outlet to something. And I think figuring out what your outlet is going to be so much more important, because when you do go through those hard things, you know exactly what you got to do. Okay, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I don't like this. I know I can go on a run, and I know I can come back feeling refreshed and feeling good to go, and that thing is going to not affect me as much. And I know I gave you like 3 or 4 different like ways to go about it or things that I do, but it's also my first time doing a video like this, so maybe I'm not making the most sense, but in the same sense, I feel like I can just yap. And that's why I'm doing this, because I've noticed that there's times where I do these kind of like things when I'm doing it for something completely unrelated, and I just talk forever. And I think that's what I'm good at. I think that's part of being an only child, is I can just have a conversation with myself to a camera and just keep myself entertained. But all right, got three more questions. Next question comes from my mom. Shout out, mom. And she asked me, where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, I'll be almost turning 26. And by the time I turn 26, I would really hope that I have a full-time job and a house. That'd be a great place to see myself. And I also see myself still doing this in some capacity, whether I'm still making content for myself, whether it's part of my career, whether I'm a photographer, videographer, something. I always know that content is just going to be part of my day to day, because I think it's so important to just help people, and it's honestly just fun to do. So yeah, I would see myself still doing content, still trying to, mm, mm, still consistent in the gym. I don't think the gym is ever going away from me anytime soon until I'm unable to, I don't know, walk or function. But yeah, house, great job. Hopefully my job is doing content, because that's the overall dream that I've had since I was, I don't know, 2. Just kidding. But yeah. Next question comes from Cameron, and he asked me, what are you working on? So I would say the biggest things that I'm working on right now is staying consistent. I know these are really broad, but I'm going to get more in depth with them. Staying consistent and just trying to really master just like the small things. Whether it's like in my content making, one thing that I'm working on is I'm trying to figure out how I can make my content more engaging, and I'm realizing that I'm just kind of not really taking it that serious, which I think is good, because you're less hard on yourself. But I'm just trying to think like, I'm kind of like analyzing my videos a lot more than I used to, and I'm trying to think, hey, what can I do better? How can I improve in my content skills, so that way the next time I make a video, the next time I put my phone up and I start talking to it, how can I be more effective with these uploads? So that's the biggest thing that I've been working on right now, trying to figure out my text hooks, captions, like how I'm just speaking. So yeah, that's like one thing I've been working on. And also just trying to shed 10, 15 pounds. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. But yeah, those are just a couple of things that I've been working on right now. And the last question to close it out is, am I still doing sales? No, I'm not still doing sales. For those of you who don't know, I did door-to-door sales for 1 week. I trained with this team and did door-to-door sales in Seattle for 1 week. And it was super fun, not even going to lie. It was probably like the funnest week I've had in a long time. Met a whole bunch of great, awesome people. And I think the biggest misconception about door-to-door salesmen is, I don't think people realize how difficult that job actually is. I think it's one of like the toughest things anyone can do mentally. I mean, think about it. You're going door to door to door, getting rejected after rejection after rejection after rejection, and you're putting up 20K, 30K, 40K steps a day, and you're just getting told no all day. Like, does that sound fun? No. But these people push through every single day, and then they get that one that hits. And then they go, no, no, no. And they get another one that hits. And then they go, no, no, no. And then next thing you know, they got 3-4 deals in a day. And that just doesn't happen. Like, the people who are doing this, like, shout out to them. I just found out it just wasn't for me. Wasn't where I wanted to take my life. And there was other things that I wanted to work on that I felt like were just more important to me and were going to help me more in the long run. And I didn't think that kind of going that route was what I wanted to do. I wanted to stay and I wanted to do this. I wanted to work on this, work on myself more, and just kind of be close to those that I love around me. I would have had to travel to Cleveland, Ohio, would have been away from everyone for the summer, and that's just like sacrifice you got to make. And no hate to anyone who's out there in Cleveland, bro. I've seen you guys' posts. You guys are killing it. For anyone who's still out there in Cleveland, because I know some of you guys got sent home, but it's whatever. Like, it happens. But yeah, shout out to all of you guys. You guys are literally killing it. But yeah, that's kind of it for this little Q&A. If you guys have any other questions, anything that kind of you're just like watching this, you're like, I wonder about what he does for this, or thoughts on this, bro, I don't care. comment something, dude. I would love to get back out and make another one of these videos. So comment on this video, go follow my Instagram, TikTok, shoot me a DM, shoot me a comment, and I'll kind of compile them and we'll have another episode. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends if you have any. That was an old intro from my middle school days when I made videos in middle school. That was my outro. But yeah, if you guys are still here, bro, like, appreciate y'all. Y'all the reason why I keep doing this, because if this video helps one person out there, then I know that I was called to do this for the right reasons. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.